Boston, and it's got the dysclavia in it. And this is what it does. You don't have to wind it up. I'm 64 years old, I live in Stratford-on-Avon. The kids now have left home, so we've got a 5-bedroomed house, just for the 2 of us.
And there's lots more Peters in towns like Stratford-upon-Avon. Retirees who love their family home.
That house there, that layout is fucking beautiful. Obviously, if I owned it, it wouldn't look like that because I'm not into the brown and that shit. But yeah, that house there, that layout, obviously I ain't no interior designer, but if someone with some good interior design skills got their hands on that house, I'm not saying it don't look bad anyway. But obviously he's an older man, so his taste is going to be different than that. But yeah, the layout of that house is beautiful. I could just see already.
And he wasn't
And this is the first time I'm watching it.
quite ready to give it up.
This is where we have all the Christmas parties. This is where we eat primarily as a family. Through here is the family room. This is where we spend most of the time.
This is your cosy room.
This is the cosy room. Through here is my office. Bit of a mess.
Do you ever feel guilty about taking up lots of space, given that there's a lot of people in the country who are...
Well, first and foremost, if he owns the property, which I assume he owns, I can never imagine a council house looking like that. Yeah? If he owns the property, if he, as a one man, wants to live in a 10-bedroom house, then that's up to him. Yeah, I would not feel guilty. Me, you think I feel guilty living in a 3-bed house on my own? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if there's other families on my estate that have the exact same 3-bed house I do at the back, but there's all 7 of them cramped up in there. That's them. Fuck them. That's your problem. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Buy your own Ras Clark house. Yeah, you got time to be busting nuts up in women and breeding up gal and that, but you can't afford your own property. Not my problem. It's your problem. Dickhead.
Who are kind of desperate for more space themselves?
Guilty? I don't think guilty is the word.
No.
Why would I feel guilty for working hard since I was 15 years old? Downsizing.
Oh my God. I swear to God, I ain't seen this before. Yeah, it's the first time I'm watching it. What did I say? What have I been saying, blood? If you work hard throughout your youth, you'll be set for your elderly age. The people them who was young and decided, you know what, I ain't going to work hard, I ain't going to make no sacrifice, they're the ones that are going to suffer when they're older. But the young people who decide, you know what, yeah, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to sacrifice, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to make investments and that, I'm going to be smart with my money and my finances and that. They're the ones that are going to be thriving and living a good life when they're older. Does this man, although he hasn't said nothing, does this man strike you as a man who's struggling for bills? Does this man strike you as a man who's going to be freezing in his house in the winter? No. Do you know why? Because the man said he'd been working since he was 15 years old, blood. I'm so glad I'm reacting to these videos. This is my little niche, you know. Find me another fucking YouTuber that reacts to these videos. Most of you lot reacted to stupid videos about modern women who is bullshit. Man ain't got time to be reacting to these dumb videos. Obviously, maybe now and then I might react to a video here and there and that, but man like to react to serious shit. Yeah? Making videos about modern women and all this bullshit ain't helping you, blood. Yeah, you need to be focused on money and making yourself financially stable and that, and comfortable. Yeah, fuck women. Yeah? But anyway, this guy here, like I've been saying, you work hard in your youth and that, you'll be fine when you're old. If you don't decide to work hard in your youth and you just live every day as it comes, you think, yeah, you know what, yeah, man, just gonna rock Moschino and Balmain and Gucci and Balenciaga and that, yeah? Watch what's gonna happen to you in your elderly age. Mark my words. Blood, this is what I'm talking about. We live in such a mediocre world. We live amongst so much mediocre people that if you become successful, you are demonized, you know. Like, don't you dare be nothing more than average. If you become a successful multi-millionaire famous person, you're looked upon as a bad person. You have hate and jealousy, you know. So basically, the way this video comes from, I was doing a reaction video about the housing crisis in the UK. And like they must have went to one yard. It was like a 4-bed yard with like 16 people living in it. Then they went to one area where no one wants to buy properties and that. Then they went to another area where it's overpopulated. There's not enough houses for the people then that live in the area. So people have to go to different areas and that. And then they went to one guy's yard. This guy that you just saw, he lives in like a 5-bed house. Nice detached big house in Stratford upon Avon. Somewhere like in, I don't know, the northwest or the northeast of England. Never been there before, heard about it. And basically, the guy must have said to him, as you heard, don't you feel guilty for basically being successful in that? And I think to myself, what? The man has worked hard, you know. The man's been working since he was 15 years old, you know. Like, why should he feel guilty? Why can't a man who's worked hard, you know, throughout his whole life and that, live in a 5-6-bed yard? Why is it that he's made to feel guilty that he's taking up too much space? Listen, if you're a broke person living in squalor and that's your own fucking fault. Everyone has 24 hours in the day. If you spend your time sitting around, fucking about, not studying, not getting educated and that's your problem, blood. Don't look. This is the thing. These people that are broke, that have to live in houses where they can't afford the gas bill or the electric bill and that, they will look at people like that, like, oh, he's got it good. It's all right for some, innit? It's all right for some, because some decide to invest their time. Some decide to get educated. Some decide to take legal risks. The people then that's freezing in their yard, they're the people who, when they was 20, 30 years old, when they was out, when they should have been out grinding, working hard, making sacrifices, doesn't matter. I'm all right. I don't need a uni degree. I don't need a skill or a trade or education. I just work at this hardware store. I've got a roof over my head, food in the fridge, and a nice warm house to sleep in. Yeah, that's right then. But if you don't work hard and make sacrifice, you know your past catches up with you, you know. Everyone must make sacrifice. You must make sacrifice. You must live rough. You must go through some hard times and struggles. It's better to go through hard times and struggles throughout your youth. If not, you're going to go through it throughout your old age. Imagine what it's like. Like even now, yeah, my car, there's something wrong with it. The heating's not blowing out. So there's no heating in the car. So imagine, you ever jumped in someone's car, if not your own car, on a winter day and it's freezing cold and you're like, get that fucking heating on. Imagine driving around the whole day in a cold car. All right, I'm getting out to go into people's yards and that. Now imagine having to stay in a cold house. That stagnant cold, blood. It's like, I don't understand how these people sit in a cold yard, but I don't feel sorry for them. Everyone has 24 hours. They decided to fuck about and not make sacrifice. Even yesterday, like these tenants, these houses I go to, they want me to feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I phoned up a man yesterday morning and I said to him, yeah, it's the electrician. I'm going to be looking to come to your house in the next few hours or whatever to do electrical test. He said, yeah, the only problem is I might not have no electric when you get there. My electric's going to run out. I was like, oh, don't worry about that. I mean, I can do the test without electric anyway, but you can go into emergency mode, innit? He said, no, I'm already in emergency mode. Yeah, I'm already in emergency mode. So, yeah, the electric might cut. I said, oh, don't worry about that. I'll do the test anyway with no electric. He's like, oh, it matters to me. I ain't got no money until tomorrow. I'm thinking, blood, I don't give a fuck about your pockets, blood. What's that got to do with me? You're Ross Clark, grown-ass man who... I went to the yard, yeah? The yard is mad, yeah? Filthy, dirty yard, holes in the walls and that, holes in the doors and that. And the woman, because the husband that I spoke to weren't there. The woman, I said to her, how many kids you got? She said 7. This is a 5-bed yard, isn't it? She said she got 7 kids in that. And I think to myself, blood, you got 7 kids, yeah? But you can't afford the gas bill. So you can't afford to top up your electric meter, but you can afford to breed up gal. This is madness, blood. But you know what? These are dumb, broke people problems. Like even that situation with that guy being made to feel guilty about living in a big yard and that. I've got a family member, a big man, older man. He used to actually live in Edmonton as well, around the corner from my yard. Obviously, we're Jamaican and that. I don't know if he was... I think he was born out in Jamaica anyway. Anyway, he decided to take his money and build a 7-bed property in Jamaica. And one of my family members who's around his age group, big people then, said, why does so-and-so need to live in a 7-bed house on his own? I think that's so blood. If the man want to live in a 20-bed house on his own, that's up to him. The man worked hard, bought a property, probably used some of that money to buy and build a property in Jamaica or whatever in it, yeah? At the end of the day, that property has come through his hard work. If he wants to buy a 7-bed house and live in a 7-bed house on his own, that's his prerogative. Why are you watching an ex, man? Why are you in other people's business and that? I know the reason why people in other people's business, because they're fucking haters, blood. Alan Sugar, Drake, all these fucking rich people, rich celebrities and rappers and that, but they're not complaining about a man living in a fucking 7-bed yard on his own. You know why? Because they're doing it themselves anyway. And secondly, they ain't poor people. They're rich people. That's a poor person's problem, you know. Got time to sit and moan about other people living in a 7-bed yard on their own. Yeah, it might seem excessive and that, but if that was his dream, let a man live out his dream. I guarantee you, if this same person was a multi-millionaire and they got yachts and fucking all these different properties around the world and that, you think they would be moaning about another family member living in a 7-bed yard? When people talk bad about people, it comes from a place of lack. Fucking stupid. Then you got these people that say, I remember I was doing one reaction video and this woman was talking about, you know, the MPs and that, they got a big pay packet and that, and we have to sit in our house and freeze and that. Blood, the MPs decided to get educated. If you decide not to get educated and you want to be a cleaner and that, well then that's up to you, innit? Yeah, you want to go down the easy route, then that's up to you, innit? Yeah, stay cold in the winter, blood. I made that video talking about the more you educate yourself, the easier your job will be, and the higher the pay the job will be. So if you don't decide to educate yourself at all and you become a bricklayer, yeah, it's an easy workforce to get into and that, and you get like some little okay money and that, but you're gonna put strain on your back. Whereas if you put a bit more into the classroom, yeah, getting a qualification for being an electrician is gonna be harder, but at least then you're gonna get paid more and it's less strain on your body, especially if you're an electrical tester. Me, I just walk around. Literally, I walk around plugging in. I even made a video about it and showing people what I do in it. Literally walking around plugging in. And I went a step further. Being an electrician is the easier route. If you decide to be a doctor and bust your ass in the classroom for 8 to 10 years or whatever, yeah, it's hard. It's fucking hard. You're gonna need to master patience and that. It's fucking hard. But you know what? Your job is gonna be so easy, blood. You know how easy doctors' jobs are, blood. Them man there, you go to them and say, I got this, that. They put all the symptoms into Google and that, and come up with the fucking tell you, diagnose you through Google. I've seen a doctor do that. You put in 8 years in the classroom, bust your ass. Yeah, it's gonna be hard and that, but your job is gonna be easy and you're gonna get paid way more. Doctors on big money, not all of them obviously, but if you're like I think they call it a locum doctor or self-employed doctor. I think it's the same thing. I think a locum doctor is classed as like a self-employed doctor. Them man who want 100 grand a year, writing reports and shit like that, diagnosing people. What you got? You got a cold, antibiotics. What? Your head's been chopped off, antibiotics. Them man, they just prescribe antibiotics for everything, or at least they did a good 15 years ago. Never allow someone to make you feel guilty for being successful. Never allow someone to make you feel guilty for, you get me, making something of your life and that. Them people there that's around you that make you feel guilty for being successful, cut them off, man. They can't do nothing for you but drain you and suck your energy dry. Get upon my blood clot nerves. Stay away, it's done now.